Okay, we're coming to you on Thursday, March 26, 2020. We've had a 3-day run in the market, unprecedented. Actually, I think it was it Tuesday or Monday? Was the biggest percentage gain since 1933, and it really looked dire before that. The market was definitely taking a beating in the midst of the coronavirus, and things were getting worse. So I'm going to give you the bull case and the bear case, and then reveal to what side I'm on. Well, I'll save that for the end. Why not? Okay, so let's start with the bull case. The federal government really has stepped up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Stepped up to the plate. $2 trillion bailout proposed. At this moment of recording, the Senate has passed it. They went back and forth for a while. It's in the House. It looks like it'll pass the House. So essentially, let's just call it done. I mean, one way or another, there's pretty much consensus that a $2 trillion bill is going to be passed for all sorts of stimulus, big business, small business, personal, bailouts all over on different levels, grants, loans, even equity positions, just writing checks to citizens. They've really stepped up, and I got to give them some credit for that. So definitely that is the biggest part of the bull case. There's no question about that. Now, the next point I want to make is it's a sharp pullback and presents an opportunity, and that's just in any time the market pulls back, you got to think there's an opportunity there, and people are conditioned to think that way now. It never used to be like that, but I really think over time with media and just more people are involved in the market now, people think that way. Sharp pullback, it looks like an opportunity. Now, mind you, we've gone up since that sharp pullback pretty quickly. As I said, it was Monday or Tuesday was the biggest one-day gain. Okay, another bull point is before the crisis, the economics were actually pretty good. Like things were good. There was nothing really on the horizon to be too worried about, just normal economic activity. There's always concern about budget deficits and things like that, but there was really nothing too concerning. And of course, markets look beyond this current crisis. So, it's an obvious crisis that everyone knows about. There's nothing surprising in the numbers. So everyone is clearly okay. I got it. There's a crisis. We're going to be shutting down. Restaurants aren't open. Lots of businesses are closed. If you haven't figured out that it's not completely out there and wide open, then you're really literally sleeping under a rock. So markets look beyond that and say, well, when we get through this, are things going to get back to normal, and how good can the market be? And they're saying essentially it's going to pick up where it left off. That's the market reaction in the last 3 days. Okay? All right. Now for the bear case. And the bear case is new coronavirus cases are on the rise. Like, we have not peaked. There's no, even the growth rate, it's, whatever the rate is, I don't even know if it's like doubling every day or whatever it is. But even that rate, so if it's, let's say it's 1.5 times new, then 1.5 again, 1.5 again, I'd like to see it, instead of being 1.5, be only 1.2 times as many cases or something. That's the first derivative. And overall, we just want to see, instead of, I don't know, let's say 1,000 cases a day. It's actually much more than that. Let's see it be only 800 cases a day or something like that would be at least a signal that we're on the horizon. But it's not there. The second thing, there's no clear solution, right? There's no obvious solution to how we do this other than, let's find a vaccine, but that takes months, and it's not just, oh, well, you got this one on the shelf already, let's just go do it. We just got to line everyone up and give them a vaccine. That's not happening. We don't have that solution. It takes time. The science still needs to be done. The Fed stimulus that we talked about in the bear case doesn't address the core issue. Core issue is the health issue. So that's great. I'm glad the Fed stepped up. It certainly is helping the market. It's the best reason for the market to be up right now is the stimulus from the Fed, but it still doesn't address the core issue. Another problem in the bear case is there's tension between the federal government and the state government. So you see Governor Cuomo coming on every day saying we're lacking supplies, we don't have any action from the federal government. Federal government is telling us how wonderful they are, and there's definitely a rift there. And it's not just New York. Some of these states are fighting each other for supplies and bidding up prices on critical supplies, whereas if the federal government had just would be buying and purchasing these things, they'd buy them hopefully at a good rate and have good bargaining power, and then allocating them out to the states as they see fit would be a better system than every state for themselves. So there's definitely some tension there. The next thing, I just see there's just too much complacency. Like, I talk to a lot of investors. I'm in the business, and everyone says, this will pass. This will be fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not having too many people going, oh my God, this is worse than I thought. I just don't hear it. I'm not hearing it. It kind of weirds me out a little bit. Other crashes were deeper and longer. So we barely, it's only been, I guess the market peaked February 19th, I think it was, and it's only a month later. It's March 26th, and in fact, you could argue that maybe we already had the bottom 3 days ago. So it was only a month. Other ones, like in 2008, took like 8 months. 2000 took 2 years. We're only 1 month in, and both of those crashes were deeper, meaning they went down further. Well, I guess you could argue that this isn't as big a problem, but I'd be hard pressed to believe that argument. It seems like a very big problem to me. I don't think the worst case is priced in. Often in a bear case or in a market pullback, you don't really get that rebound until that worst case is priced in and there's like utter capitulation. Like, I haven't seen the utter capitulation yet. I would love to see that. I mean, it's kind of it's a really strange moment. I've been there in both 2000 and 2008, and it's just despair out there. You talk to investors, like, they just thrown up their hands. It's like there's no bottom. I don't know what to do, and there's just too many people still getting in on it. In fact, I hear stories of guys going online and playing their video games, and then in the commentary, like, if you ever play video games, you can talk to the other players, and like, just your average guy is saying, I'm gonna borrow money to put money in the stock market, big opportunity. It's kind of like they used to say, if you're in a cab and your cabbie's asking you about the stock market, it's time to get out because the market's up. Well, people, your average everyday person thinks this is a huge opportunity. You need to scare those people out before we hit that bottom. So I'm bearish because just too many people are complacent, and the worst case is not priced in. And this recent rally, this 3-day rally, is just too much too fast. All is well, boom, let's go. That's just too fast for me. We said, one of the biggest days up since 1933. 1933. I mean, that's just too much. And that's just one day. And then it followed on with 2 more days. So there's a lot more on the bear case in my assessment than the bull case. And often, that's in fact, every day is a weighing of the bear case versus the bull case, literally for the last 20 years of me doing this. And right now I'm thinking bear case. So that's my 2 cents right now on the markets. And everybody out there, stay safe.